Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show, Two Sisters, A Different Point of View. This is a show where we talk about any and everything under the sun, basically, whatever we want to talk about. I am your host, Nikki, and I am joined by my sister and co host.
Angie.
So, welcome to the show. I didn't really have much for us to talk about this week. So, I figured since it was Father's Day, why not talk about fathers? And what better way to start that off than to talk about the Netflix movie with Kevin Hart called Fatherhood. You
Mhm.
watched it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I thought it was pretty good. Um, some of it, like the very first 20 minutes or so, when his wife was giving birth, she gave birth, and then afterwards, when she died, that
Oh,
that did kind of bring tears to my eye. Huh?
you gotta let people know it's a spoiler alert,
Oh, well, they should have watched it by now.
just in
I
case.
I I let them know. Spoiler alert. Um, but basically the show is about Kevin Hart. He plays a new father. He's married and his wife basically dies after giving childbirth. It was their first child. His her mom kind of sort of didn't approve of their relationship. They kind of looked at him. He was the immature, playful person, not really responsible. And so when the mom, well, not the well, when the baby's mother,
His wife.
right, when his wife died, his mother-in-law and mother wanted him to move back to wherever they were from,
Mhm.
to so they could help him take care of the baby. And when he said that he wasn't moving back, his mother-in-law was kind of insisting that the baby come live with her.
Mhm.
Um, but he ends up raising the baby and doing a splendid job. So I
Yeah.
thought it was I
Oh,
thought it was pretty good. But like I said, when she passed away, that did bring tears to my eyes. It was
yeah,
sad.
that was a touching scene, and also too, um, she kind of didn't approve of him because she said that they had a plan, or she had a plan.
Right, for her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter was supposed to go to college and then could move back home. And then when she didn't do that because she had met Kevin Hart, that kind of, put like a
A kink in her plan.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, just because he was immature, but I think first it was because,
She had her daughter's life all
right,
planned out and her daughter wasn't going by the plan.
right, right. And
Yeah.
she blamed Kevin Hart for that.
Right, right.
So yeah, that scene definitely that was a good scene.
That was so sad.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, that was good.
And it was really I thought it was really good. It felt more like a one of those Sunday movies, you know what I mean? Kind of lifetime
Yeah,
feel to
that's
it.
how I'll say lifetime.
Yeah, kind of a lifetime feel to it.
Yeah.
Because some of it, although a lot of it was believable. I was buying it. But the
Mhm.
part where he took his baby to work, if only employers
Right.
were that understanding.
Right.
So I thought that was a little fake.
Yeah.
And then,
That was
continuing
really
to bring her and had her at a meeting which got interrupted because she was crying, and he actually left the meeting to go and see about his daughter. Yeah, I thought it was funny too how he was giving his presentation, and then he said, "Do y'all hear that?" And it was the baby crying, but nobody heard it but him. And sure enough, she was crying. It be like that for real.
Yeah, I figured that they put that in there because that's how mothers do.
Hmm. Yeah.
I thought it was unrealistic for his boss to say that he was moving up the ladder and he was given his position or he recommended Kevin Hart for his position. I was like, how realistic is that? Not saying that it don't happen, but
Yeah.
that's kind of
And, right. And just like when the meeting was interrupted, because he went to see about his crying baby,
Mhm.
and then he was in the room with the boss, and you think that the boss is about to fire him, but then the woman pops her head in, who was at the meeting that he was giving, the presentation to, popped her head in talking about, the baby and stuff. And so he didn't get fired.
Right,
But I'm like, girl,
right. Because then they was like trying to give him tips and stuff, like they
yeah,
empathize with him.
that
Yeah.
was totally unrealistic and not believable at all.
Hmm.
Employers should be that understanding, but I
Hmm.
don't think it's very many that are.
Yeah.
And I thought the girl that played his daughter, let me see, what was her name?
She was cute.
She was Melody Hurd. She was really cute. I liked her. Another touching scene was when his daughter, he let her wear the pants to the school because she went to a school that was had a
Okay.
school, yeah, and they had a school uniform, and he let her wear pants instead of the skirt. And so then the day they put her in a skirt, then she got teased for wearing boys' underwear, which I thought that was that was kind of funny too. How when they were in the store and she didn't want the girl underwear, she wanted the boy underwear. That was funny. But then she got teased for wearing the boy underwear, and then ended up falling and hurting herself and having to go to the hospital. I thought that was a touching scene when he came in and he took her because he lost his wife there. And
Yeah,
so he didn't really trust that hospital. So he was going to take her somewhere else.
right. He said they don't get nothing right because that's where his wife had
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that too.
and the scene after that when he was talking to his girlfriend.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was real touching.
That's why I was like, that I felt the movie was okay. I would give it like maybe a B minus or a C plus or something.
If it was a scale, um, like out of 5, what would you give it? Like 5 stars.
Maybe 3.5
Really?
or
I'd
maybe
give it a 4.
I was gonna say or a low 4. Because I felt like it had potential with those scenes, because especially the way it started off, I felt like it started off strong because when he was at the funeral and he couldn't really say anything. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be pretty good. But then I felt like some of the scenes, I don't know, it could have been I explored more. The movie kind of dragged a little bit, I
It
felt.
did. It did start dragging, especially towards the end, where it's like, okay, come on, get back with the woman because we know that's what's gonna happen. Let's
Yeah,
just go on and do it and end it because it had already gone on long enough.
right. And the part when she was a baby, I felt like that kind of went on too long because I felt like they could explore more of the struggles a father would have in raising a daughter. Or I don't know if struggle is the right word, but challenges that he had, because they did show that scene when he was trying to comb her hair. But,
Yeah,
I felt like they could have just, I thought, explored that a little more. And then maybe he could have been with his girlfriend a lot sooner. Because I would have liked to have seen, I thought it was going to be where you see her all the way till she was grown. You know,
um,
how she would have been being raised for the most part by her father. And then if he had married her, just like different parts of her life growing up.
I guess part of the climax was when he had left her to live with the mother-in-law,
Hmm.
but then I don't know how long it had been, a few days, I don't know. And then he realized that she really did belong with him, and he went back and got her.
Mhm.
I kind of thought that was part of the climax. Can a movie have more than one climax?
Well, not really, but
Because that seemed like a pivotal moment for him. You know what I mean? Where he decided that he could do it
Mhm.
and went back and got her.
And then I was wondering how come it was such a big thing about him living with his mother-in-law, or the his daughter living with the mother-in-law and not his own mother. It's like she didn't even say.
I think that was just their personalities because the mother-in-law, she was kind of overbearing. She
Yeah.
was one of those mother-in-laws that, I think we talked about on the show before,
Uh,
the ones we rarely see,
mhm.
but people act like they just
All over the.
dime a dozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
getting on my nerves. Like, I probably would have been put her out my house.
Oh, speaking of that, that was an interesting scene when he was like, "Can we be honest?" After it was after the funeral, and she was talking about she planned on staying there for 6 months. And I was like, how she just go say I'm gonna live with you?
Right. Like, you wasn't invited to do that. That was funny too. When he was telling her, "Don't ask no more questions."
Yeah,
That was real too.
missed it. And I like his well, I was gonna say his friends, but I like the black friend. He was the one who played in Get Out.
Oh, that's where he was from. Okay. That white guy, he was let me see, what was his name?
He was weird.
Okay, so his friend was Jordan, right? That was Lil Rel Howery. And the white guy's name was Oscar. His name was Anthony Kerrigan. He just I know the movie wasn't about this, but the bald head, it just wasn't doing it for me.
Anthony said, did he have any hair? Does he have any hair?
That did not look right at all. I guess it don't hit the same on, on them as it do for black men.
He said it's the same.
I was like, that just don't look right.
He didn't look right. He ain't act right either.
And he
He,
was the one who introduced Kevin Hart to, her name was Liz too, wasn't it?
yeah.
Wasn't he the one that introduced them or set them up to
I
meet at
think
that
so.
party?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I liked the scene where they was playing poker and they would play poker with the little girl. I wish they had like did that more than once. I
Mm,
think that because they only showed that one time, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, because I thought they could have maybe showed that a little bit more often, even if it wasn't like a whole scene, just so it'll be established that they do that all the time.
Yeah, because then they showed them playing without the little girl, and then they wanted cookies
Yeah,
like they would do with the little girl. Yeah.
because they actually probably could have even had her sitting there as a baby, like just sitting at the table.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, and then you could see her, progress into where she's actually playing with them.
Mhm. And then the scene where she was a baby and he left her sitting outside on the whatever it was, some kind of wall or something. He left her whole seat just sitting up there and he had drove off. You didn't see that?
I didn't see that scene. I probably had
He
watched.
had drove off because he forgot her, but he came right back and then he was looking around trying to see if anybody had saw him.
I like that scene too, where he couldn't figure out how to shut down or close the stroller,
Um,
and so he had went to that parenting class, and they was like this
mhm.
others, and he said, "Well, the sign say parents."
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I thought that was good because that is true though. A lot of things they say is parents, but then when you go in, it's just women.
Right.
And
They could have explored that some more too.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I say, it was all right, but I thought it could have been some parts could have been explored a little more.
Yeah, because I thought that he would end up going to the group regularly.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because I actually thought they was going to invite him to come and sit down.
Right,
Then you would see him like he part of the group. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. Yeah, I thought that too.
Mhm.
But it
Yeah.
was pretty good overall. So he did end up getting back with the girlfriend.
Mhm.
Mm.
And then I wondered, did they get married or, like what happened to them?
Eventually,
Yeah, that's why I say it would have been nice just to see him having her as a baby all the way, if not even an adult, maybe like to college or something. You know,
yeah.
just to see how she did.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, because it would have been interesting to see him trying to explain like changes happening to her body as she go through puberty, and you know what does he do, and
Mhm.
when
Oh,
she
that was funny too, where he was letting her watch that cartoon and then he found out it was for adults.
yeah, yeah,
That was funny.
his friend didn't help.
Right. I think I would have kicked him out too. Steady telling my child stuff I'm telling you not to.
Hmm. Hmm. And it would be interesting to see how he would react when she started liking boys too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe they'll have a part two.
I don't know. I doubt it. Yeah, but it did have a lifetime ish kind of feel.
Better than Lifetime though.
Yeah, better. I definitely would give it that. It was better than a Lifetime movie. So I mean, it's worth a watch if you
Mhm.
have nothing else to see.
Yep. But
So happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
yeah, happy belated Father's Day. You got any favorite memories of our dad?
The one that always pop in my head and it make me laugh is you know, you used to act up right when we were younger. And
I think I know what you're about to say.
I don't know what she did, but Daddy was chasing her. He was going all in people's yards and stuff, and they was flying. And I remember him saying that, um,
If she had took one more step.
girl, that every time I think about that, it make me laugh. So that would be one of my favorite memories.
Mhm.
So do you
I,
remember that happening, or you just remember people talking about it?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I remember it or if it's just,
Or
you
if
know,
you're remembering it because people have said it?
right, right. Mhm.
Girl, I could see him running. And I don't know if you remember across the street from us, that's where those white people live. Um,
Um,
I forget his name, but
Mr. Pat.
yeah, I remember him running, like through his yard and stuff. Ooh, that was so funny, girl. What about you?
Um, I can't think of any favorite ones specifically, but I do remember. I remember him buying me a bike, a 10 speed. I don't know if it was my first 10 speed because I know I had really wanted one. He brought me one, and it was a boys one because I had wanted a boys bike,
Hmm.
and I remember trying to. I think he got yellow, and I didn't like the color, so I tried to spray paint it blue. I don't know why they let me do that. It was so tacky. And I remember him getting us these jackets for Christmas one year. I don't know if you remember that. He got us these ski jackets and we didn't like them.
I don't remember that.
I remember. And I know when he used to go to the store, we used to always ask him to bring us something back. He used to bring us Snickers back.
Oh yeah, I do
You
remember
remember that?
that. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I do remember us asking him to bring us something back too.
Mhm. And sometimes he'd forget. Oh, and he used to pay us like 50 cents to clean the tub after he take a bath.
Ooh, child labor, girl.
Girl, I know. I'm looking back like we did that.
I remember he used to pay me to wash the dishes too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess Daddy didn't like doing no chores.
Oh, before we move on, because then I want to ask you about Grandpa. One thing that I didn't like was how the movie ended.
Mhm.
As his daughter, which was fine for her to wear pants, but I was like, why he had to have on a skirt?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
I didn't. That didn't make sense to me. And it's like they always got to put, especially black men.
Cause
You
like so was his thing? Cause I didn't really understand why he didn't want her wearing the skirt. So was his thing that girls don't have to wear that stuff?
I'm
I
not.
didn't I didn't get what the point was of
Yeah,
why he didn't want her to wear it and then why he was wearing one at the
yeah.
end.
I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
Because to me, that didn't seem like a strong enough point
Right.
to like be fighting. Because if that's their rule.
Yeah,
You
that's why I thought it must be some something, some reasoning he had, but they didn't really let us in on it.
Because it is a Catholic school. I mean, you go to a Catholic school, they have certain rules. If you don't
Mhm.
want to follow those rules, go to a different school. Why you can't go to a different school, you know?
Yeah,
So
I agree with that to a certain extent.
no,
Because
I'm just
when it comes to how they be discriminating against black people's hair, with the because
well,
people say that in those instances too. It's this type of school. If you don't like it, go to you know
but in
another
their
school.
rule, they don't say you can't wear locks or cornrows. That's different. They probably have it where they probably say something about being neat or something, which I think that's different than whether a school uniform. You know, if a school uniform is a certain thing, then that's the school uniform.
Yeah,
But that's different to me than somebody's hair.
yeah, it is. I agree, but I guess I just want to be careful because people say that all the time. If you don't like it, go to another school.
Yeah, I'm not
You
saying
know.
that. And I ain't saying they could discriminate because that's their school. But yeah, I didn't get that
Yeah.
because I felt like maybe if I don't know, maybe if she wanted to play baseball or something, and they said, well, girls can't play baseball. To me, that might have been like a stronger thing to try
Mhm.
to fight. But wearing, pants, and
Yeah.
then you got to put on a skirt. That was done.
Yeah. Didn't get that.
So anyway, what's your favorite memory of Grandpa?
Well, I ain't tell you the rest about Daddy.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
this was towards the end because when he was in the nursing home,
Hmm.
and it was me, Kim, Cookie might have been there, and Tammy, and we were visiting him. And at that point, he was just out of it, so he was just laying there, not responding or anything like that. And
Hmm.
so, we was just talking, and when I was about to leave, Tammy told him, she said, Daddy, Nikki about to leave. Why don't you tell her bye or something like that? And Daddy actually kind of lifted up a little bit and he waved and then he was out again. So that's one of my favorite memories too, even though it was like,
Yeah,
final one.
like bittersweet,
Huh?
like bittersweet.
Yeah. And it made me feel special that he did that. Because I know it took a lot of him because he was just out. He wasn't doing nothing. When they moved him, they had to use one of those machines where they lift you up because
Oh,
he didn't he was out. So for him to do that and then wave at me like that when I was leaving, that made me feel special.
he opened his eyes. You see?
Um, I can't remember if he opened his eyes. I just know he lifted up and waved and then went back down.
So he was out because of the drugs and stuff that they were giving him.
I don't know.
Mm.
I thought he was like in a coma or something.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know.
because
Because
I'm
he hadn't been responsive. I don't think he was even at home. When he was at home and Kim was taking care of him, at the house, he was out of it.
mm,
Yeah.
wow.
But you was asking about Grandpa.
Uh-huh.
Grandpa, he was so handsome to me. He was. I used to love his nose.
You
But
may want to go and look at a picture of him.
um, Grandpa didn't talk much.
Mm-mm.
But
Not
I
at
remember I remember he liked those orange slices. So
all.
we used to get him those for Father's Day, birthday, you know,
Halloween.
always orange slices. And I remember he loved ice cream too. And I think like when I remember this all the way back when I just had Kwame. So Kwame is what, 26 now. So when he was a little boy, I remember Grandpa used to like, he would do all the kids like that. But he'll be like, "Ew, there, little fella," and he'll like pat him on their head real hard.
Mm-mm.
What you remember about Grandpa?
It's funny because I don't really have like a lot of memories of Grandpa being separate from Granny, because it was always Granny and Grandpa, right?
Right.
So, because I was thinking, I used to like going with them to Chicago. They used to go to the big flea markets.
Oh yeah.
Chicago, he'd be driving his Cadillac. Grandpa loved Cadillacs, and so I like that. And then sometimes it'll be me and Corey would go together. I think we might have been what, seven, between 7 and 9, maybe somewhere up in there. And just coming back, the windows would be down, and I just used to like those trips. And at that time, going from Benton Harbor to Chicago was what, like a 2 hour drive. But it seemed like it took so long. Maybe because I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to just love those trips. But
I
that's what,
remember.
huh?
I remember one year when I was little. I don't remember how old, but Cindy was living in Oklahoma, and I
Oh,
went with Granny and Grandpa to Oklahoma to visit.
mm,
That was a nice trip.
mm.
It was just me, so, I was getting spoiled. The
Where
dog.
was I? Was I?
Huh?
I said, where was I?
I don't know. Oh, and I do remember Grandpa picking me up from school before in a big old truck that was red, white, and blue. You remember that truck?
I don't remember the truck, but I do remember him driving the truck. I was gonna mention that.
I used to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I remember him having to pick us up sometime in
Mhm.
that truck. Mm-mm-mm. And then when he would answer the phone, he would say, "Hello."
Oh yeah, I had forgot that. I remember that.
Yeah,
Grandpa was fun.
he was. He was quiet.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, what else about fathers?
Um, I don't know. They're great.
Mhm. You know what? It would have been. I keep going back to the movie because talking about this kind of made me think of something that I think they missed as well in the movie. Because
Mhm.
the movie is about fatherhood. So it would have been nice for him to have more conversations with his father in law And then even what happened with his real father?
Oh, they did touch on his real father though. He was talking to his mom, I think on the phone. I can't. It was funny though, because basically she was saying he wasn't no good, but I forgot what exactly was said. But it was funny.
Hmm.
So that's why his dad wasn't around.
And then was his dad still alive? Did he have any?
He was just a deadbeat.
Did he have any?
Well, no, because they were married. His dad and mom were married
Mm.
because they said something about other children or something. I don't know. And he said, but he married you, but she wasn't impressed by that.
Mm. Yes, because
You
it
know.
was nice for him to talk, have more conversations with
Mhm.
fathers who had experience. He hardly talked to his father-in-law.
Right.
So I thought that was a missed opportunity.
Mhm. What else was I gonna say? Oh, enough. See, the more we talk, the more stuff keep coming to me. But I
Mhm.
remember when Granny was in the hospital one time, and she ended up having to stay.
Mhm.
And I remember Grandpa giving her a kiss on the lips, and he had told us, "Y'all look away" or something like that.
They about to do the dirty.
and and Granny was mad because she had to stay, and she had said something snippy to Grandpa, and he started laughing. He said, "What you mad at me for? I didn't do it."
I know they used to go back and forth. I remember one time Granny said that Grandpa was kind of man where she would throw a house shoe at him and he'd throw it back at her.
Really?
Hmm.
I can't even see Grandpa doing that.
He neither. Seemed like he just either move out the way or catch it and put it down.
Right.
But
Neatly where it go.
yeah, I think I think Grandpa was what, 16 when they got married and she was 14.
Mm. I
Or
thought she was 15. I don't know.
I was gonna say something. You might have to cut this out.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably thinking along the same lines, but I don't want to say it.
No, not on here anyway.
Right.
We'll wait till we finish.
So was there anything else about fathers or anything else you remember?
Um, let me see. This kind of would be like pleasure moments. Oh, I remember going to the sale, Grandpa, I could just see him taking stuff out, like because they would put everything in when they closed up, but when we would open up the next day or whatever, and Granny would put stuff out in the front in the yard part. And I could just see Grandpa, bringing the TVs and stuff. I think they had TVs and whatever else appliances. He would do the appliances and Granny would do the clothes.
Oh yeah. I remember Granny wouldn't let us lift stuff. She would always make Grandpa do it because she said she didn't want our backs to be hurting or something when we got older. And I remember, I mean, Grandpa was limping at that time, but she was still making him pick up stuff up.
Yeah. I know. I remember. Was it a table or something that would be in the front, and so she would have clothes in the front, but she would also hang stuff on that little awning thing of the
I think I
sale.
remember that. Yeah.
Seemed like that's. I seemed like I remember that.
And remember, Grandpa used to always be out there burning stuff.
Yes. Oh, and those dogs.
Hmm.
I remember we
He
would.
always had some little hound dogs.
I remember we put like food and stuff in
The
bread bags.
the dog food bag. Oh, I used to hate that bag. It used to be so nasty. Ugh.
It'd be a bread bag.
Yeah. And then we going over Granny house and mama be like, y'all don't forget the dog food bag. Get the dog food bag.
That's our country.
For a long time, I thought the dog food bag was like the same thing when you go to a restaurant and they put you don't eat it all and they put it in the thing.
Mm-mm-mm. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, that was nice reminiscing.
It was. It was.
So I guess now it's time for. Wait a minute. I can't do that. That's Delta, ain't it?
Yes, I think it is.
I'm just not picking up on that. Well, what I'm gonna do? What shape? It's time for the line of optimism.
Just like this. The light from above.
The lights of positivity.
Mm-mm-mm.
You got anything?
Um,
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about this for a minute.
okay.
Because I saw this earlier when I was scrolling through Twitter. Ayala Van Zandt. She says, if you want to experience the truth of who you are, you must be willing to examine and explore your dark side. What that mean?
Examine your dark side.
Yeah.
Um,
You don't know either.
no, I don't.
Sometimes I be reading stuff. It's like, okay, are they just running out of stuff to say?
Hmm.
It don't be making much sense to me.
I guess she's saying that maybe she's saying that you have to acknowledge. But then I guess it depends on what she mean by your dark side. You know, does she mean like negative qualities about yourself? Because maybe she's saying you have to acknowledge that you have those in order to work on them or something.
Okay. You just made it make a little bit of sense.
Because if you, and then it could also mean too, like if you experience trauma. Because some people, you know, when they experience trauma, as
Mm-hmm.
a child, it might not necessarily be what you've done to create the darkness, but what's been done to you. And
Okay.
some people might not acknowledge that. And so
Okay.
how can you truly heal and really know yourself unless you deal with that part of your life?
That makes sense. That's probably what she meant. Because when she said dark side, I immediately thought the
Some,
evil within
something that you've done.
or
Hmm.
just being evil.
Right.
She got another one that says, love is simple. We make it hard with our trappings, expectations, and demands. That's kind of true. Although I think we should have expectations
Hmm.
with love.
Yeah.
Because love is a verb and it comes with action. You got anything, Angie?
I had saw. Now I can't get back to. Hold on. Oh, I had saw a quote from the minister, and he was talking about fathers,
Hmm.
and I was thinking that would be something good to read. So now, of course, I can't find it. Oh, okay. Yeah, here he is. He said, you can't be a father without God. You don't know how to be a father or a husband without God. As a father, you have to have vision, something in your head. With God, there's nothing that you cannot do. Every day, a father has to be producing for his children and for his family. When you look at your children, thank God for the women or the woman that bore you, your sons or your daughters.
I like his words of wisdom.
Yes, he definitely has those.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, I guess that is it. Unless you have anything else you would like to add.
No, that's it for this part of our show.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to our show, our little podcast. It's been fun. Like, subscribe. Come on, family. But thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next week. I have been Nikki, and
I am Angie.
yes, she is. And we'll see you guys next week.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.